It was a lovely sunny day, and my school held a Father's Day event. I brought my mom along since I didn't have a dad. And while we sat there enjoying the festivities, suddenly 2 of the school's most annoying boys came to bug the heck out of me.
Hey, Mia, if you haven't noticed, this is a Father's Day event.
Yeah, I know that.
So, are you the father? Because we only see your mom.
What did you just say?
He called you a father.
One thing about me is I had a very short temper, but they didn't stop teasing. So I got up and twisted their ears so hard they cried for their mothers.
Mommy!
The teachers then came and asked me and Mom to leave.
These boys were teasing her. You have to be reasonable. This is not the first time Mia reacted after just a little bit of name-calling. Once she tripped a girl who called her something silly, and we looked past that. Please, try to get your daughter some professional help with her anger issues.
Mom was so upset with me, but she knew that if anyone messed with my family, that was the wrong button to press. Later, after the picnic, I was still so mad about what happened at school, so I went to talk to Mom about something that was heavy in my heart. Mom, why don't you ever talk about my dad?
Because he's not that important. He left when you were just a baby.
Mom always felt uneasy talking about who my dad was. I usually changed the subject when I could feel the vibe between us become a little awkward. Okay, it's almost time for our telenova. Mom and I loved watching our favorite French telenova, Longing for Love. And Mom loved the lead actor, David Barrow. Mom, you're drooling again. I loved Mom so much. She was like my best friend in a way. So eventually, I stopped asking her about my dad. And then when I turned 16, I got the surprise of my life. After I blew out the candles on my birthday cake, Mom kissed my cheeks. And then all of a sudden, this famous actor from a popular TV series stood at our table. Mom, did you hire David from the Longing for Love to perform for my birthday? Mom looked at the actor in front of us for a moment, and then she looked at me.
David and I used to go to school together. Yes, your mother and I were actually high school sweethearts.
Mom, how come you never told me that you dated a famous actor? Mom was lost for words. And then the surprise came.
Because he is your father.
Even though I saw his face like a million times on TV, I froze, just staring at him, and then I turned angrily to Mom. I asked you so many times about him, and you said he ran away!
Mia, I can explain.
Mom had 16 years to explain, and I was too angry to even be next to her, so I ran off and waited for her in the car. After the big reveal, I stayed angry with Mom, and then my so-called actor dad paid a visit to our house.
I would like to get to know Mia, and I want her to come back with me to France. Oh, no, you can't just take her to another country. You kept her away from me, and now it's my turn to get to know my daughter.
Mom and Dad started arguing, and then I entered. I agree with him. I want to go.
Mia.
Mom was hurt, and I really felt bad for her, but I wanted to get to know my dad. So I flew away with him all the way to France. My mouth dropped when I saw Dad's house. It looked like a castle. Wow, is this your house?
Yes, I've already asked the staff to prepare a room for you.
Inside, the mansion was like a fairy tale, and my room was fit for a queen. Thank you so much. Should I call you Dad, or...
I'd love if you called me Dad.
I felt like we were really connecting, until 2 people entered the house with shopping bags. A tall woman and a girl my age.
Oh, you must be Mia. Wow, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Mia, please meet my sister and her daughter Felicia. They live in the mansion with me. Felicia, why don't you say hi to your cousin?
Hi. Don't worry about her. She takes time to get used to people.
When I went to my room, Felicia was there, sitting on my bed. Felicia, can I help you with anything?
I just wanted to apologize for not being welcoming.
She had a poker face when she said this, like she never even tried to smile. Oh, it's okay. Would you like to take me on a tour through this beautiful city?
My mom and uncle won't allow us to leave the gates without adult supervision.
After she said that, she left the room, and since I was exhausted from the flight, I dozed off. The next day, I found Dad in his study, and he looked super busy, but I was too excited to stay indoors all the time. Dad, I want to go out and explore the city.
No, not today. We only have family outings on Saturday. Today is a reading day.
But it's the holidays, and I only read during school days.
Well, things are different here. We live a very disciplined life, Mia. You'll learn. Now choose a book and go read.
I left his office extremely upset, but he didn't seem to give a fudge. And when I sat in my room, I decided to play some music from my phone. And while I was dancing alone, Laura suddenly barged in, grabbing my phone and breaking it into pieces. Hey, what are you doing?
We don't play music in the house on a weekday. Everyone must be quiet. Reading.
Are you crazy? You just broke my phone!
We'll get you another one over the weekend.
I didn't know whether to cry or to run. I felt like I was in a crazy house. Later that night, I was starving since I ended up falling asleep the whole day. But when the chef revealed my dish, I found a snail shell. What's this?
Escargot, it's just a starter. Try it, you will enjoy it.
Oh no! I've seen snails crawl up the walls in our backyard! There is no way, even in paradise, that I'm gonna put a snail in my mouth!
Mia, you will eat what we eat.
No! I won't! I don't eat this! I've never eaten snails in my life! Please understand!
Mia, you have to learn to adjust.
This is ridiculous! I'm going to my room! After telling my dad off, I left the table and cried for the next hour or so, wishing I never came here. And then there was a knock on my door. I tried to ignore it, but then I heard Felicia's voice.
Mia, open up, it's me.
I ran to the door and found her standing with a plate of sandwiches.
I told the chef to make you a sandwich. Please don't say anything.
Oh, thank you so much. I let her in, and she sat with me while I ate the delicious sandwich. How do you manage to follow all the rules in this house?
It's the way my mom and uncle were raised back in the USA. My mom is not that bad, but because your dad is rich and we struggled back at home, we had no choice to come and live here.
So my dad is the controlling one. No wonder my mom kept me away from him.
Yes, he lives by a set of rules, and we all have to follow them, or we don't get to enjoy this luxurious life. I have to leave now. Bedtime is soon.
I already slept enough during the day, and when I looked out the window, the night looked so beautiful. And as I was looking at the stars, I could feel someone looking at me. It was a boy from the house opposite. He stood on his balcony and just glared at me. And then I quickly closed my curtains when Laura entered without knocking again.
Lights off. It's bedtime now.
I want to go back home.
Don't let your father hear you say that. He really wants to get to know you.
Well, I don't like who he is, and I don't care about his money. After Laura left, I peeked out the curtains again, and the boy was still there, looking directly at my room. Early the next morning, I needed some fresh air, and since I woke up much earlier than everyone else, I made myself some coffee and went outside. While I stood on the porch, I noticed someone throwing plastic bottles over the wall. Hey! What are you doing? Ow! Hey, stop throwing your trash over this wall!
Well, it's not my trash. When I woke up, I found all these plastic bottles on my turf.
And who says that's our trash?
Because all these bottles are at the edge of the wall. So who else could it be?
It was pointless starting an argument with this boy, who was actually very cute, by the way. So I started throwing all the bottles back.
Hey, you can't do that.
Oh, yes, I can! Oh, Dad! Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up.
What are you doing outside so early in the morning?
I just wanted some fresh air.
Come on inside. The chef made you some breakfast.
I hope it's not snails again.
No, that's not a breakfast meal. Just your traditional bacon and eggs this time.
After breakfast, Felicia and I sat outside drinking lemonade. So what happened with you early this morning? I heard noises outside.
Oh yes, it was this boy from...
Before I could tell Felicia about the boy from next door, he popped his head over the wall.
Hey, is the bottle war over?
Well, that depends if you start it. He disappeared for like a second, and then he appeared with a hose pipe, spraying both Felicia and I wet.
Well, I've started it.
How do you know, Liam?
We had a bottle war this morning. Do you guys have a hose pipe?
I think so, but I don't know where it's kept. We should go inside and get dry.
Oh, way. Not until we get Liam back. Come on! Felicia was so scared to break my dad's rules, but I told her to relax and have fun. So we went into Liam's yard with buckets of water. When Liam came out from his garage, Felicia and I threw 2 buckets of cold water all over him. Got you! Before we could run off, he held my hand and drew me closer to him. and my heart started racing just looking into his shiny blue eyes.
You're brave coming over here. Felicia never steps foot outside the house unless it's for school.
Yeah, we should really go now.
I guess I'm not scared of anything. After that fun event with Liam, Felicia and I tried to sneak past Dad's office without him noticing. But he was already standing by the stairs with Laura, who looked so nervous.
I'm very disappointed with you, Felicia. You know the rules of this house, but instead of leading Mia in the right path, you've shown her that being rebellious is okay. For that, you and your mom will leave my house.
What? But it was my idea! I took Felicia next door and there's nothing wrong with that! We were just being normal kids!
My decision is final.
Dad's heart was as cold as ice. He had no mercy on anyone. Laura and Felicia cried in each other's arms, and I felt so bad for them. I had to do something to help. Later that night, I waited for everyone to fall asleep. And when the house was dead silent, I got up. I managed to sneak outside and jump over the wall to Liam's house. I started throwing stones at his window to wake him up. Liam! Liam!
You again?
Yes! I need your help.
Okay, I'm coming.
Liam came down and helped me sneak up to his room. I was amazed to find he was a musician. He had posters of famous artists all over his room, and he had a very fancy guitar. I'm so sorry to bother you, but I really need to borrow your phone.
Is everything okay?
No, my dad is a control freak, and I really need to contact my mom. When I called Mom, she was so happy to hear my voice, and I immediately cried and told her everything.
So I guess your mom will fetch you soon.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you so much for your help.
I'm going to miss you. Even though I hardly know you, it was nice having a friendly neighbor.
If you call having bottle wars and water fights friendly, then I'm going to miss you too. The next day, I overslept and got up so late. And when I went downstairs, I could hear Mom's voice.
I kept her away from you for this very reason. You are a control freak. I won't let her go. She's my daughter too.
But I want to go. I'm not happy here.
I guess we're all leaving then. I'm tired of being your doormat, brother.
But I helped you when you had nothing.
But Dad, you told her to leave! How long did you expect her to beg for your help? Dad looked at all of us silently for a while, and then suddenly he started crying.
I'm sorry. I know I have a problem, and I promise I'll get help. Just don't leave me alone in this house. Please.
I actually found a job back home, so I really want to start afresh. Felicia deserves that.
I hugged Aunt Laura and Felicia as they left. I'm so happy that I have a cousin and an aunt like you. I'll call you.
I'm going to miss you, Mia.
After some time, Dad got all the help he needed, and Mom gave him a second chance.
Your Aunt Laura and Felicia just called. They will be visiting us during Christmas.
Oh, I can't wait to see them! My family was complete, and I was so happy.
Hey, I just got back from the gym. Am I late for the barbecue?
Yes! You were supposed to be here ages ago!
Here, I brought you an ice pop to cool down your hot temper.
I also saw a therapist from my short temper, and he told me to take deep breaths every time my temperature started rising.
What are you doing?
I'm breathing so I can calm down. Liam, my parents are here.
Sorry, I was trying to calm you down.
Liam was crazy, but I loved him so much, and so did my parents. And I eventually did learn to cool my temper down, because when you really care about your loved ones, you sometimes learn to compromise.